I guess to sort of transition a little bit here, I don't think we've had any discussion. Well, we did discuss the iOS patches, and some other patches are coming along or fixes. And maybe, Jim, you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is one that I'm sure we'll be talking about on next week's show because OpenSSL sent out an email to their announced list earlier this week that they will be providing fixes, new versions on Friday, the 19th of March. They have not gone into any detail about what is being fixed other than to say that it is a high-risk vulnerability that they're patching.
Wow.
High severity is what they said. So think something along the lines of Heartbleed or Poodle or Freak or something like that is what my guess is. We'll know a lot more next week, but it's coming, so be ready to be patching.
Yeah, this is a case where when you have these open source projects that are used broadly, on many different devices, it makes the patching process quite complex. That it's a large work factor.
Yeah, and, we've been through that a couple of times already in the last year or two. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So if it is serious, Heartbleed was significantly more serious than the others. The Poodle, I think, was marketed heavily, but Heartbleed clearly was the more significant vulnerability. So hopefully it's not quite that bad.
Whoever finds it markets it.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever finds it markets it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not that bad, but they do say high severity, so we'll see on Friday.
Yeah, and so this is a case where it's actually coming from the OpenSSL development organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, they've announced that they've got the patches coming. I'm not sure where the vulnerability was reported to them. Who gets credit for finding that? But.
I guess one of the things, and I'm not going to be able to help with names here, but one of the silver linings around Heartbleed was that it helped to realize that some of these open source projects that are used across many different products weren't really getting the security attention that they needed.
Yeah.
And so basically an organization was developed to help facilitate that.
That's right.
And that's, I think, a really significant development in the security community.
Long term, I think that's great. Short term, I thought this was the advantage of open source is that I'll get something that already has gone through this review. But long term, I think this is good. I'm an OpenSSL user in my for Damballa, so every time this happens, we have to go through and look at it, and it's extra work. But long term, that's good. Short term is painful.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's painful to have to go through the cycle of fixing these. But rest assured, there will probably be more of these.
That's right.
And so, refining the process of patching things associated with OpenSSL, recognizing those and being prepared for it is going to be perhaps a good thing in the next year or so. And in fact, there are some others that we should be paying attention to as well. And I think they are trying to get those incorporated as a part of that activity.